Hello, welcome to Strange Stack, the channel where we talk about computing and magic. So I'm going to give you a very quick rundown of what this channel is about. So wizards, this is Gandalf, you probably heard of him. Merlin, you probably know about him too. Another example of a wizard would be Master Yoda, everybody knows about him. Some real world wizards from the past and the present would include people like Sir Isaac Newton, who is a legitimate wizard. He actually did some stuff in his attic with some chemicals and uh, did some interesting stuff, really. People think of him as the first great scientist. He was also the last great magician of the sort of the transition from the Renaissance to the modern era. So that's basically his contribution to both science and magic. And we have Steve Wozniak, who you might have heard of. If you haven't, maybe you've seen this picture where he's sitting next to some other guy named Steve with his computer, the Apple One, which he built in his apartment when he was fairly young. And anybody who argues with me that this guy isn't a wizard, I'm sorry, he's 100% one. He invented the Apple One. He invented the Apple II. Much of modern personal computing wouldn't be possible without him. And he has all the other attributes, like the sort of the trickster attitude. He was a big prankster. So the guy was definitely a wizard. He has a great sense of humor. If you watch his interviews, he seems like an absolutely amazing, nice guy. So these are wizards. These people fit the archetype. So what is sort of the archetype? What's involved in being a wizard? So wizardry involves wisdom and knowledge of the world, knowing the past and the present. So this is just general knowledge and deep knowledge, depending on what the wizard is specialized in. In Word of the Rings, anytime somebody has a question, Gandalf has an answer. This happened then. This is from that part of the world. Whatever. He just knows a lot of stuff. Wizards also have foresight. They can know the future to an extent, and they have imagination. Wizards are interested in teaching and spreading knowledge, sometimes very carefully, but good wizards always want to share their knowledge with others. And wizards also have power beyond the ordinary. They have the ability to exact change in the world, and they can make the future happen using their will. This is known as magical power. So, what is magical power? So, the basics of magic include what I talked about, knowledge of the world, which is sort of science. And using imagination and intuition, we can gain foresight, knowledge of the future, what the world might become, what a thing might be. Then we use skill, art, and will in order to bring that imaginary future into the present, into the current existing world. And this, boom, it's called magic. This is what magic is. If anybody talks about levitating or shooting laser beams out of your eyes, no, that's not magic. This is magic. This is the real deal. It is actually very powerful. So magic is useful in every aspect of life. You can use it for anything. This pattern of knowing a lot about something, then using your imagination to imagine doing it better or doing it differently from other people or doing something entirely new, and then making that thing happen in the real world. That's magic, and that's applicable to a whole lot of stuff. It's a big part of science and engineering. It's part of art. It's part of music. It's part of sports. If you've seen some truly innovative athletes who do things better than other people, usually they have some new way of approaching the problems that sport poses on them. So there's definitely a lot of wizard athletes out there. You probably have your favorites. And any skilled work, anything that you can think of that involves skill can benefit from magic or a magical approach. So this is available to everyone, right? There is no supernatural underpinning to magic. Maybe there is, but I haven't been able to prove it, so let's just assume there isn't, or that's a different topic. But it's all about skill and imagination, which imagination is also a skill, so you can train that as well. So ultimately it's about exercise of skill, and you can learn to do this, and you'll be unusually powerful and knowledgeable, right? This is about increasing your power level in whatever it is that you do. I don't Whatever it is, art, science, whatever, journalism, anything. This pattern is available to everyone, and it applies to everything that humans can do. And this channel is going to focus mostly on computing. Computing is one of the most powerful of magical disciplines. It's a really powerful tool. There's a lot of depth of knowledge in it. It's a complicated subject, and there's a lot of magic that can be found in it. We'll use computing as the example, but this applies to any skill in life. And I just happen to specialize in computing. That's just my thing. So this is the type of wizardry I practice. So I'll be teaching that specifically. But this, like I said, you can apply this sort of approach to anything. And knowing computing in general, computing is another one of those things where you can actually apply it to anything. A lot of digital artists and musicians use software, and a lot of really interesting artists write their own software because the existing one doesn't really do everything they want quite the way they want it. So computing is useful in pretty much any discipline, and the magic is useful in any discipline. So I figure it's a good place to start teaching it. And so that's it for now. Stay tuned for the next time when we will discuss some other topic involved in computing or magic. You can follow me at Strange Stack, and thanks. This is it for now. Goodbye.